7 days out. How to lose love handles in 1 week, my personal experience. So I am exactly 7 days out from my competition, and I want to show you guys what my current physique is, and I'm also going to tell you exactly how this relates to the title of this video. So just a physique update from where I am right now. Now, you guys have seen my physique, and I want to show you guys something. Although I am what you'd consider single-digit body fat to some, my fat tissue, I'm still holding fat here in my love handles. I'll be taking you through the strategy I'm going through to be able to reduce the size of the quote-unquote belly fat and the love handles. But let's go into the kitchen, and I'm going to show you everything that I'm going to do, and I'll also talk about the science behind everything. Now, the first comment that you guys may be making: Dr. Mike, you cannot spot reduce fat. There has been about 3 or 4 research papers that have been released, and there were many different studies utilizing the same approach where they used an untrained arm versus a trained arm to see if there was any difference, and there was none. However, and this is for controversy's sake and for the sake of this video, there was a research paper released in 2017 that compared people who only trained upper body versus people who only trained lower body and then did 30 minutes worth of cardio at the end. And now this research paper showed that the group that did more upper body had less subcutaneous fat on their upper body compared to their lower body because they trained it more, and the group that did lower body had a leaner lower body compared to their upper body. And the study also suggests that because the individuals were training that area more, they were suggesting that fat loss was more possible in those areas because the body would easily mobilize fat from that area because blood flow was increased in that specific area. And they suggest also in that study that after that they would do 30 minutes of cardio. So the cardio would utilize those free fatty acids, that fat tissue in the bloodstream, as a source of energy. Eric Helms, a well-known name in the bodybuilding industry, also reviewed the study and said that he's skeptical. And people like Jeff Nippard also feel like they're skeptical, so they're not completely demystifying it and saying, hey, that's completely a myth, but they're leaving it up to speculation, and I feel the same way. So a lot of the things I'm doing right now is in combination with all the research that I've been doing. So number 1, I'm gonna take you guys through the 5 steps that I am doing to be able to lose my love handles. Now, the second claim is, can you lose love handles in 1 week? Yes, you can. You cannot lose all of it in 1 week. Weight loss is holistic, right? So if you're at 40% body fat, you're not gonna get to a 10% body fat physique in 1 week. However, if you're at 12%, you may be able to see the love handles gone when you get to 8%, for example, and that's where I'm at this point. So my focus will be to bring in my waist, to bring in my entire physique, and I'm gonna show you what I am doing leading up to my competition. This is what we call in bodybuilding a peak week. So I'm gonna take you through all of that, and I'm gonna show you what I'm taking start to finish, and I'll talk about each and every single step that I'm doing to be able to get to single digit. What is responsible for losing love handles? What do you need to do, Mike? I've been prepping for nearly 7 months or more, and my caloric intake started at 2,800. Right now I'm eating 1,720 calories. So I've gone from 2,800 and I've slowly decreased my calories all the way to 1,720. My macros for today, as we go through peak week, is 220 grams of carbs. No, prep mind. My macros are 220 grams of protein. Keep that in there so people can see. You get foggy brain when you're in prep. 220 protein. I am eating 75 grams of carbs, and I am eating 60 grams of fat, right? So I have steak here, I'm using cauliflower rice, whey protein bars. For you to lose your love handles, it will be the nutrition. The main pillar for fat loss will always be a caloric deficit, and that is everything above all else. However, and I wanted to show you guys and to be transparent, and I wasn't gonna film, but I promised you guys I'd film every day. Weight loss, you do have areas that are a little bit more stubborn. So although I look good, right, by everybody's standard, right, by general people standards, I still hold some love tissue in my love handles. And yes, this is the last to go. So you do have more areas that take some time. So the first part is nutrition. You need to be in a caloric deficit. Now, what I don't want you to do is to go from 2,800 to 1,700. Don't do that. You need time, And you need to have a consistent plan and following that, and you'll see yourself get to this place that I'm at. And to be honest, me and my coach are discussing of doing another show because he believes I'm at 90% of where I really should be. I agree, but tip number 1 is going to be a caloric deficit. Over the last 16 weeks, we've had a 99% success rate at Sculpt by Science, and it's because of a mechanism that I've developed called the DNA sequence. It's a combination of all the scientific research I've done over the last decade, combining everything I've learned from biochemistry and microbiology and everything through medicine, and the experience I've gone through with nearly thousands of each and every single client that I've personally coached. I am now able to transform any physique as long as the person is dedicated, irrespective of their background. The people who come through my doors are busy professionals who are dedicated and finally want to see the six-pack once in their life. Their energy levels are optimized. They're eating the specific foods that they can eat, not only for this program, but what they'll be able to follow the rest of their life. Their sleep is optimized, and also their training and nutrition. And we look into so much more in terms of blood work. We do it all. If you want to know exactly how I'm able to use the DNA sequence and see such a high success rate, what we do is we go through a diagnosis. What you need to do is fill out the short questionnaire, and we'll be able to jump on a call and be able to see how the DNA sequence may be able to help you. We're also selective with who we work with, so please fill out as much information as possible so we can see if we can help you. So I wanted to share another thing with you. Waking up. I made a video the other day about waking up at 5 a.m., but that doesn't mean that it's every day. So the time right now is 12:36 and I woke up an hour ago, just because sleep isn't always the way you want it to be, especially when you're at this stage in prep. So basically slept at 1, woke up at 6:50 literally for my my coaching meetings with all my clients. Had 2 hours of that, and then I decided to go back to bed, and here we are. So don't be so harsh on yourself in terms of a morning routine. And when you get started, you get started. So what I have here is I'm supposed to take 2 of these pills of this H2O remove. And this is for competing. This isn't something you should take all the time. It won't be healthy. But I'll insert a voiceover of what the H2O remove should do, or I'll be playing what my coach told me or why he says we should use the H2 remove at this point.
One thing you can do for me this week is go to your local supplement store and you're going to look for a product called H2O remove. Ideally, this product here, okay? So you're looking for this, and that will then be something that I will start to introduce from Monday the 29th. As I start pulling fatigue down, we use a herbal product like that to start driving diuresis, which basically increases the rate in which fluid is being excreted. So as those subcutaneous stores now start to pull fluid, because your stress is dropping, your stress exposure is dropping, your nervous system is starting to get into a better place, we can start shifting more of that out to create that sharper look.
But yeah, I have to take 2 of these. And the first thing I do in the morning is fasted cardio. And I'll tell you why. Cool. Caffeine is going to be like my secret weapon, and it's been my secret weapon throughout this entire prep. What caffeine helps with? Caffeine is a diuretic as well, so it will help you with the water weight, but also the main thing with caffeine is that it will postpone my hunger, which is beneficial for fat loss, right? Making me want to eat later. But it will also be my source of energy, which is also beneficial for fat loss. It helps me burn more calories. So what I do is I take my pre-workout first thing in the morning, and then I go and do fasted cardio, which in the process of this video, this is step number 1. Cardio is a great tool for fat loss. Again, before I get people commenting down below, it's not cardio, it's none of these things, and you can't lose fat in a week. Number 1, you cannot lose all of your love handles in 1 week. It will take time. Now, if you guys see, I look great if I do this, right? But I still have some left. And that's the point that I want to give you guys. You're not going to lose all of your love handles in a week. And it depends on where you are in terms of your journey for how long it will take. So if you're at 40% body fat, it will take you longer compared to someone at 20%. And also it will take you longer compared to someone at 10%. So the first thing is going to be nutrition. Your nutrition is vital to be able to lose your love handles. And I started all the way at 2,800 calories. I'm going to show you and tell you when I start eating my food, where my diet was when I started and where I'm at right now. So First thing is nutrition, for all the people being like, it's not this, but I'm telling you, let me start with cardio because that's how I'm going to start my day. With cardio, right, what I am going to do now is fasted cardio. I am also going to, well, I'm going to do fasted cardio. I'm going to show everything that I'm going to do with a fasted cardio. So let me have this. Moves. To have one sweat belt. And remember guys, when you're seeing this video, because I know I may get a lot of hate for it, this is what I'm doing. You don't have to do this. I'm not recommending you to do it. I'm also gonna have one sweatsuit. Okay, so let's talk about cardio. There are two forms of cardio. The cardio that I'm going to talk about now is formal, and I'll talk about the second form of cardio at home. Formal cardio will involve a few things. The frequency that you do it in the week, so how many times do you do it? The duration of how long you do it, so how long are you doing the machine for? And then the third thing that you want to determine is the intensity or the modality, all right? This is the routine I recommend for you. Week 1, no cardio. You just want to focus on informal cardio, which I'm going to talk about at home. Week 2 onwards, let's say you started week 2, I recommend you start at 3 sessions of cardio at 15 minutes. And you want to have your heart rate anywhere between 120 to 140 beats per minute. This is what we call zone 2 cardio. And research has shown that being within the zone, your body will predominantly lose or burn calories from fat. Yes, it's all about calories in versus calories out, but research has shown your body will tap mainly into fat stores for a source of energy compared to carbohydrates. As you increase the intensity, once you go to 150, 160, 170, 180, we'll use more glycogen carbohydrate stores. And I'm showing you a chart right now on the screen proving what I'm saying. So let's say you start 3 sessions, 15 minutes, and then increase that every 2 weeks. So you can go to 4 sessions every 15 minutes at week 4. 5 sessions, 20 minutes, so increasing the time at week 6. 5 sessions, 30 minutes at week 8. 5 sessions, 45, or let's say 45 minutes at week 10, and then you'd probably be able to do that for a while. Long story short, every 2 weeks you can increase the frequency or the duration, and at the peak of my cardio right now for formal, I've gone 7 sessions, 1 hour of cardio between 120 to 140 beats. Personally, I like being between 130 and 140. And the two machines I really enjoy is the treadmill on incline or the Stairmaster. So that has been my cardio routine. This week, we're gonna be doing, until Thursday, so I'll be doing 4 sessions this week, and then my coach will assess 4 sessions of 45 minutes. And again, you can play around with however much you want to do. It will depend on how much time you have in your routine, right? But that's my formal cardio. Let's talk about what I'm gonna do at home for informal cardio. So, let me tell you about how I'm training. Did you know one of the main reasons the fat tissue around your lower abs and your love handles are so stubborn is because of poor blood flow? So for example, your arms are highly vascularized, your face, the rest of your body, but your midsection has less blood flow compared to everywhere else. That's why one of the reasons that the fat tissue here tends to go last. So one of the ways we can try to improve blood flow is to train the muscle in that area. Now, again, this is according to that research paper done by the University of Rome, and this is how I've been training. And I train with focus to get blood into the muscle, but also with that in mind. So for love handles, and just for my obliques, to make my obliques sharper, The exercise I love doing is any twisting motion, right? That is going to engage your obliques. So at the base level, you can do a Russian twist, but I personally like the cable wood choppers. So you set the pulley to a high position, you try and face away from it and you grab the pulley to be able to have tension. You grab, and then I lock in my arms and my torso is responsible for this twisting action. And then when you finish with one side, you go on the opposite side and you twist. And what you're doing is you're picturing like you're gonna chop the wood, right? So you have your axe here at the top and you chop and control the weight. You wanna control the resistance against you and you want your body to twist. Control the resistance. This is another exercise that I do to improve blood flow into my lower back. So there's two things that will help you. So with your abs and your love handles. So you see here to the side, my abs are thicker than most people's. So training them over time is really good for you because the bigger your ab is, so let's say it gets thicker and thicker, the biggest surface area, you'll get to spread the fat tissue over. So this is why it's good to build muscle. So not only will the exercises help you to grow your muscle tissue, but the second thing that I also do is, like I mentioned, it will improve blood flow because you're forcing blood into that muscle. And this should consequently be able to improve the catecholamines to that area. Now, I'm not saying that it will spot reduce fat, but this is what I am personally doing. And I've been training these two body parts consistently. And just to add on to this, although there's not conclusive research that shows that you can spot reduce fat, you will see a lot of Olympian bodybuilders, and you will see that with muscle tissue that they feel, or with areas they feel is more stubborn, for example, glutes, you'll see that some bodybuilders will start doing more hip thrusts, all right? To be able to get that glute striated, to be able to force blood into that muscle, right? So I've seen this anecdotally, and this is what I'm doing. There is no conclusive research, but it is common to see the waist, the sweat belt. And again, if you're at like 30%, 20%, doesn't help. But what does help is training these muscle groups over time. And I look at this as a long-term investment. So this is what my love handles and obliques look like now that I've trained them. Cool, I'll catch you guys upstairs. So the second form of cardio, which I call informal cardio, is just steps, right? So this is just as much as your body's moving. So currently I'm getting roughly between 15 and 20,000 steps. On average, it's about 15,000 steps, but there are days I get 20. So what I recommend is when you start off, start at 8,000 steps. Don't start at 20 because you will fatigue, you'll tire out. But when you start your transformation to get rid of your love handles, and I did this, I started at 8,000 steps in week 1. And then every week, just increase it by 500. So 8,000, 8,500, 9,000, 9,500, 10,000, 10,005, etc. each and every single week, and get to a point where you can get to 15,000, 20,000 steps. And this is an amazing way as well to burn more calories over a longer period of time. And since we are on the topic of love handles, for me, I found this cardio to be the best cardio because it allows me to have better recovery. It leaves me ready for the next day. When I do very intense cardio, the next day I'm shattered, I don't want to do anything and I'm too tired. So I use an under the desk treadmill, a walking pad like this, and I'll watch anime on this TV. And I have the same tool in my office, and I might be replying to emails or in a meeting and just doing this, getting steps. So you guys have been with me the whole day. And so far, we are at 12,860. So I'll spend some time on this machine here and I'll easily get my 15 to 20,000 steps. So a nice piece of math, we're at 13,000, which means I need 2,000 more steps. That means 10 minutes of walking, 1,000 steps, we need 20 minutes more of walking. So I'll just do this, and that's one episode of One Piece, which is the anime we're watching right now. peak week, and this is what I call like my strategy to lose my love handles. We want to pull subcutaneous water and also some fat, right? But it's a week, so who knows how much fat we lose. But our main objective is to pull water. So the first thing we've done is manipulate the diet, and eating 75 grams of carbs, which is very low, will allow us to deplete our intramuscular glycogen, which should also allow us to deplete water weight, right? Because carbs, glycogen holds water, so we want to pull the water. We're also using the H2O remove, so I'm gonna take 2 more of these. And tomorrow I'll even be eating less carbs to pull more water. I'm also drinking more water just so I can flush the glycogen and the carbohydrates out, right? And what I've done is we want to saturate the muscle with fat. So I'll be eating dietary fats in my meals. So that's why my macros are 220, high protein to maintain the muscle tissue, 75 carb. Yes, my power output will decrease, but our main objective is to pull subcutaneous water. And we also want to have enough fats in our diet to be able to saturate dietary fats. This is as per my coach's directions. And here I have my first meal, right? And the main ingredients in here is steak, right? So you'll see it's like a rice bowl. We have steak in here, right? And we have cauliflower, and we have some of that cognac rice. And for the fats, I've added 2 whole eggs and the egg whites, and this is my meal number 1. So first thing I'm gonna do is take my 2 tablets. And the plan will be Friday, Saturday, before the show, we'll reintroduce carbs back in so it can just saturate muscularly, intramuscularly, but our subcutaneous water will be down. Now, this is a very short-term solution. This isn't I'm not gonna be able to maintain this look for months and weeks, so you'll see a drastic change with this manipulation. I hope, like honestly guys, I hope that I'm making sense. My mind is all over the place. I'm hungry, like I'm very cloudy, brain fog. If you guys have ever had a day with very low carbs, this is how you feel. So I hope you guys appreciate it. I'm trying to put out the content and just make sure you guys are like following me with this. Hey man, it's tough, but like this is what I'm here for. And I also feel I'm super blessed to be able to call this my life, where I'm literally just documenting and eating. But I'm gonna get into my first meal. So that's the end of the video. 7 days out. A recap: the pillars of fat loss will always be a caloric deficit with a high protein diet, resistance training to build muscle. And it does take more than a week to lose love handles. Again, it really depends on where you are and where your body holds fat. That is completely genetic. But depending on where you are, you can manipulate things. This video is more so like my peak week and what I'm going through this week. My water intake is very high, so I'm drinking about 5 to 6 liters today. The second thing I'm doing, I'm sweating quite a lot through my cardio. I am also wearing the waist trainer. I'm taking the H2O remove. We're also doing a lot. I've just realized that I'm rambling a lot. I'll leave the video here. Leave it with a gentle thumbs up, like, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.